Did you know that it's very easy to count the number of cells in a flat, in a tray? It's always 1 by 2. So if you count 6, this one is 12. If you count 10, this one is 20. So that if you count 10, 10 times 20, 200, it's a 200 cell flat. You have 6 times 12, 72. 72 cell flat. That's a quick way to do it instead of counting, spending all that time. And of course, each flat has a different use. Some you see are deeper than others, a little bit deeper. Of course, the deeper one is for longer term plants, like this will be better for a tomato. It doesn't mean that this is not good for tomato, but it may get root bound faster than in someone that's a little bit longer. A little bit longer, it's going to use a little bit more soil, and that's why that whole thing may cost you a little bit more. But this is 6 and this is 6, so these two are still 72 cell flat. Just one is longer than the other. Something else you need to learn with practice is that each tray matches its own flat bottom. Okay, like this is perfect because when you press here, it's tight because these are touching the bottom. You don't want something like this where it's a little bit shallow and see it's sag at the bottom, because imagine when it's full of media and wet media, after you water it, it's gonna sink at the bottom, so it's gonna have a dip. So when you water it, these will get more water than the edge. Doesn't mean you cannot use it. I mean, sometimes that's all you have to work with, but you'll have to remember that you have to water carefully. Water here and then go around the perimeter a couple of times to make sure the outside cells get water too. Okay, so you see when they sag like this versus, so when you buy flats online, cells, we call this the flat and we call this the bottom flat, tray and the bottom flat. Make sure they match. This way you know that you're getting one that touches the bottom plate. Also, there are two different kinds of flat bottoms. Like this one here, you see, does not have any holes. Some have drainage holes built in them and some don't have drainage holes, and each one is for a different use. If you're not gonna water regularly, then maybe one without a flat bottom, without holes, is better for you. This way, if there's any excess water, it will get trapped here and then soak it up. Let's say if you're gonna water every 3 days, whether you're a hobbyist or you're learning. The one with the drainage holes are better for experienced people because there's no way you can overwater or drown or kill the plants because they drain. Okay, so as a beginner, get something without the holes. This way you know that there's some water extra. And it wouldn't hurt to try to lift it, and if you lift it and you see water pouring out from here, then you know you're overwatering. Okay, so the bottom flats without holes are great for a beginner, but make sure they do not hold water too long because you don't want to drown the plant. All right. Finally, the last point I want to say is, do you, of course, as a hobbyist, as a small operation, as a homeowner, as a beginner, you want to recycle these flats. You're not a nursery that you can afford to sell it and include the price and the price of the plant. You want to recycle because you're growing for them. And as long as they're sturdy and they're not broken or cracked, especially like this one, if it cracks, it's not going to hold any water, throw that away. But these are sturdy, they can last for many years. So do you wash it or do you recycle it? Like this, we used it earlier in the year and it hasn't been washed yet. This is brand new. This has been used, but not as dirty as this one. So what would you do? If you're lazy like me, I'll just fill it and use it again. Because I know when I took it out the cells were healthy, no diseases, no problems. Nothing's gonna carry from one crop to another. So as I transplant, I watch. If I see one dead cell, whether damping off or anything I don't even recognize, that has to be washed. Okay? But if you're gonna, use it 2 or 3 times in 1 year and your plants are healthy and all is well, just use it, and at the end of, when you're done transplanting, then give them a wash. How do you wash it? There's a lot of ways. You put them on the ground and use a pressure washer just to clean all that dirt, or you can get a big container, big tub, like one of those cattle water tank for cattle. Put water, put 5% bleach solution, and put them in there and soak them. Soak them minimum 2 hours overnight. Take them out in the morning, rinse them, because you want to take that bleach out if you're going to use them immediately. If you're going to take it out and then store it for next year, well, by next year that bleach has evaporated. You should be fine. But if you're going to take it out of that bleach solution and then use it within a week, then definitely rinse it before you use it again. All right, so here's my lesson today on the flats, types, how to use them, what to avoid, how to count them, and how to clean them. Enjoy.